welcome back to the Wood and Metal Shop. You know when you get an idea for a project, it kind of starts off relatively simple and then it kind of grows from there and then it kind of changes into something entirely different? Well, that's kind of what my project is starting off as. Starting off relatively simple by using a bunch of scrap wood that I have laying around in the shop. You know, all the stuff that you just can't throw away? Well, we've all got it, so I'm going to start using it up. My project started off relatively simple and I've actually cut up some of the material for the project. But things have kind of changed along the way and I've gotten a few other ideas. So stick around and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and it might even change in the next couple of hours as I'm progressing into the project. But first, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And you know, all my social media links are posted down below. And also, if you want to send me a sticker for the sticker wall, just contact me. So let's get on with this project. I'm using hard maple, red oak, and I believe white oak. Everything is cut to its rough dimensions. I'm going to run this through the thickness planer, plane it down to its final dimension, and then glue everything up. I let that glue cure up for a couple of days, and in the meantime I decided on a slight modification for the design by using the CNC to cut a couple of circles into the center. This piece of wood is almost 2 inches thick and I'm pushing the limits on how tall of a piece of wood I can cut on the CNC. And the regular clamps are not tall enough to hold the block of wood into place. So what I have to do is stick the block of wood onto the piece of plywood with some double-sided tape. That's just going to hold it into place while I turn it around, and I'm going to pre-drill and use screws on the back side to hold the block of wood onto the plywood. Then I'm going to flip it around and secure it to the bed with the regular clamps. Alright, well I finally got everything cut out here. I actually had to recut these two pieces and recut this because I found out the CNC head was actually slightly out of alignment. So it was actually cutting at a slight angle and throwing everything off, so I recut these two pieces. So this diameter is the same as this diameter, and this diameter is the same as this diameter without oversizing it. All I needed to do was put this on the chuck on the lathe, sand this until it fits in, and then I'm just going to glue it up. Before I glue those in, I'm going to use the CNC to actually cut the diameter of the circle most of the way, and that'll save some work on the bandsaw. I've left that piece on the bottom here. The router bit didn't go all the way through. So there's about maybe 1/4 of an inch left down here, but that's going to be the bottom, and most of that's going to get turned away when I make the mortise for mounting it onto the jaws. So all I'm going to do is glue this all up, and there's that little hole will actually allow the glue to escape and not create an air pocket in there. Well, I finally have this thing mounted on the lathe and ready to turn it. There's only a couple spots where the joints didn't come together very well, like right here, but it's not going all the way through, so that should be okay. I should be able to turn that out. I've already spun this up at 1000 RPM and it seems to be really happy with that, so that's what I'm going to go with. Alright, I'm going to leave a wide foot on here, and I'm just going to come in just a little bit and clean this up, and then I'm also going to put the tenon right there. So I'm going to come in just a little bit more on there, and then I'm going to start rounding this over and shape this just a little bit more and keep on going. Well, I'm going to press my luck and see what happens when I take the tailstock off, and should stay there. It's a lot lighter. I have to go in just a little bit more because the it's starting to show through where I put that one insert. So I just have to take that down just a little bit more, make it a little bit deeper, make the tenon a little bit deeper as well. Alright, well, I've got it where I want it. Now I'm going to actually power sand it. I'm going to be using my air sander and go from 150 all the way to about 400 grit. Well, that was a lot of sanding. I sanded this down to 400 grit. There was a little bit of lines in here from some of the end grain. So I managed to get them out, and it's actually looking pretty good. So I'm just going to wipe this down with some denatured alcohol and then seal it. And I like to use a spray shellac to seal this, use it as a sanding sealer. I'll let that dry and put another coat on in a few minutes. I put 2 coats of shellac on here and it's actually looking really good. You can see some of that chatoyance coming out. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but from this angle I can see it. So I'm just going to hit it with some steel wool, quadruple steel wool, and it'll knock the grain back, and then I'm going to also sand it with some 600 grit. Doing this with a couple of coats of shine juice. I have some mixed up in an old glue bottle. And if you're wondering why my shine juice is kind of green, denatured alcohol is kind of hard to find in Canada. So the alternative is called fondue fuel, which is denatured alcohol, and it's actually dyed blue, but that blue dye does not show up when you apply it. Wow, nice. Alright, I didn't put any in the center yet because I'm actually going to put it on my CNC and use my laser and put my logo in there, Wood and Metal Shop, and then I'll finish that off later. Turn this around, and I've got the tailstock on for a little while until I turn this part off here, just to make sure it's holding on really well and it doesn't fly off the chuck. so from about this point on down, I'm going to start shallowing it out and then slowly thin this part out. I don't think I can go very much more in the center. I'm going to take this off and just smooth this out and take off a little bit right here as well. Well, let's see what happens when I take this off. Hopefully this will not fly out. All I'm going to do now is, I'm actually getting very thin there, and I'm hoping I'm not going to go right through, is just scrape this back right here. The scraper caught right here and right here, so I'm going to try and clean that up just a little bit by pushing in. Alright, that looks pretty good. So all I'm going to start doing now is sanding. So I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the other side, power sand it, and then I'm going to come back when I start finishing. Well, that sanded up to 600 grit again, same as the back side. Now I'm just going to put shine juice on there and I think it'll be done. I love that shine juice. It really brings out the grain. Like the chatoyance on this side. It's amazing. I really like the white oak in there too. Well, I'm going to put on another couple coats of that and I think it'll be done. Well, here it is complete. This one actually took a little while to make because I had a few delays and a problem with my CNC where I had to recalibrate it. So I had to recut the center inserts on it and also recut the hole bigger to accept those inserts. But all in all, turned out fabulous. I'm really pleased the way it came out. I think it looks amazing, and especially with that shine juice, it just really brings out the grain in it. And I don't know if you can see the chatoyance on the camera, but it is there, and I will post pictures of it at the end of the video. 14 inches wide by 2 inches tall, and it will also be available on my Etsy store, so if you're interested in it, I will have the link posted down below on this. I also got some stickers in the mail. First one is from Carolina Miss Custom Woodworks out of Hawaii, Eddie and April. They do some pretty amazing work, so you got to go and check them out. They only have an Instagram, so I'll post that link down below. Then Sam from Twisted Crafts UK, who does wood turning and also turns with resin. So another amazing wood turner. Go and check him out. And Ed in Arizona from Wolf Ridge Woodworking, who is also another amazing wood turner. So I will have all the links posted down below for them. Also, if you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If not, well, give me a thumbs down. Also, leave me a comment or a question, plus all my social media links are posted down below. And last but not least, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell for when I do another video. So until then, take care.